Hi, welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. Today I'm going to show you how to make this really pretty Valentine's Day wreath. I was looking for a wreath that was just really pretty that I could use on the inside of my house, and this just really fit the bill for what I wanted. I think it's so pretty. It's almost completely done with Dollar Tree items. The only part that isn't from Dollar Tree is the pure red ribbon, and that is only because I already had quite a bit of red ribbon still here at home. But Dollar Tree did have plain red ribbon, so if you wanted to get the red ribbon from Dollar Tree, you could. So let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I have one of these cutting boards from Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to lay my ruler on it and mark right on the cutting board at 6 inches, right like that. Next, on this other side, I'm going to go ahead and mark another mark right at the 6-inch mark. Now, I do have a regular cutting mat, but it's just easier for me when I'm working at my desk to just use one of these little cutting boards. And I have this deco mesh from Dollar Tree. It's white with just a little bit of red stripe in it, and so that's going to be perfect for this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll it out here, and I'm actually going to unroll 2 of them and cut them both at the same time. But I did find out that I actually need 3 full rolls while doing this. So just to give you a heads up, you're going to actually need 3 rolls, even though I'm only showing you cutting 2 at this particular moment. Now, I'm just taking it all the way to the end of my cutting board and going right to where the lines are that I put on the cutting board, and that's right where I know I'm going to go ahead and cut it. And then I just grab my cutter and cut right across there, and then set those aside, and now I'm going to just pull it all the way up to the end of the cutting board again. Just like that. And I'm just setting my scissors on there to hold it, and I'm going to go ahead and cut another one, and I'm going to just continue to do this until I've used up the whole entire 2 rolls here that I have laid on top of each other, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut up that 3rd roll as well, and I will use all 3 rolls. And now the parts that we're cutting will end up being 6 inches by 6-inch squares. And then we're just going to set those off to the side and continue cutting until we've got everything completely cut. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take our ruler to 7 inches, putting the 7 right at the end of our mat, and then we're going to go ahead and mark a little line right at the 7-inch mark, just like that. And that's where we're going to be cutting our ribbon. And so all of our ribbon is going to be at 7 inches. Now here's the red ribbon that I have, and you've probably seen it on some of my other videos. I've used this quite a bit through Christmas time and everything. This I got from Costco, and it's a Kirkland ribbon. They have great ribbon there, but I will give you a heads up, this red ribbon does fray. So I always end up just taking a lighter and lightly melting the ends of my ribbon just so it doesn't fray. Now I'm going to go right to where I put that 7-inch mark, and I'm going to just go ahead and cut through my ribbon right there. And like I said, if you have one of the smaller cutting mats, that would be great for doing this. I have one of the great big large ones for when I'm sewing and cutting a lot of material, and it's just too big to put on my desk. So I really like the size of these little cutting boards from Dollar Tree. You can get these for 2 cutting boards for $1, and I just use them all the time for crafting. Now, if you don't want to do it that way, you can just take and measure out 1 ribbon and then put it on top of the other. and just use your scissors, just like what I'm doing here. And actually for cutting ribbon, I actually prefer doing it this way, but you can do it whichever way you prefer and whichever way is easiest for you. And what I'm doing is I'm going to use about 10 feet or maybe just a smidgen over 10 feet of this red ribbon. And our ribbon that we use from the Dollar Tree that you'll see next, which is white ribbon with the red hearts on it, that is a 9-foot ribbon, and I use all of that. And I really needed 1 or 2 more of those, 1 or 2 more pieces of that ribbon, this ribbon here that I'm showing you right now. And so I ended up doing 2 extra pieces of the red ribbon to compensate for not having quite enough of this white ribbon. And that worked out just fine. Like I said, you can do it however you want. You can buy 2 rolls of the white and then just use 1 little piece off from the end of it. Or you could, if you have some ribbon at home, or if you have just completely different ribbon, any of that works. I'm just letting you know that I ended up using about 10 to just over 10 feet of the red ribbon and 9 feet of this white ribbon. Now with the white ribbon here, I ended up getting 14 pieces at 7 inches long. And then I had 1 piece that was left over that was 10 inches long. And so instead of cutting that and having 1 more piece that was 7 inches and then 1 really short, I just took that last 10 inches, folded it in half, and cut 2 ribbons that were 5 inches each, just to stretch that ribbon a little bit more. And once it's on the wreath, you can't tell which ones are a little bit longer and which ones aren't. Now once you have all your ribbons cut, then all I'm doing is going and I'm dovetailing the ends. And you can see how much this red ribbon frays right here. And like I said, I go ahead and just kind of singe the ends of those just a hair, just to melt that a little bit. Then they won't unravel like that at all. Once you just run a lighter over them, just real gentle for a second. If you're not comfortable with that, then you may want to use different type of ribbon that doesn't fray. Now the ribbon from Dollar Tree did not fray at all, just this ribbon. And right here is the lighter I use. I don't actually show me singeing the ends just because I don't want to give anybody any ideas or anything if they don't understand how to do this, or, you know, if anybody's eyes should be watching that shouldn't be. I just don't want anybody to take it wrong on how to do this. So I'm not going to show that part. But I'm sure if you've worked with ribbon at all, you know exactly what I mean. Now here on the white ribbon, I am again just going and dovetailing the ends. And that's just cutting your ends at points. It just makes it look a little bit more finished there. And then we're taking some of these Chanel stems or pipe cleaners, whichever you call them, and I'm just cutting them in half. And once they're cut in half, you'll need between like 30, you'll need like between 30 and 40 of them. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our pieces of deco mesh, and these ones that are on the ends come very frayed, and that's just kind of, especially in the nature with deco mesh, but especially with Dollar Tree deco mesh, it does tend to fray a lot. All you're going to do is take and kind of roll that into a roll, and you're going to be rolling it maybe 4 or 5 times, and then just hold your 2 rolls together. And now we're going to go ahead and grab one of our ribbons, And we're going to put that right on the top of our 2 rolls there. And now we're going to grab one of our chenille stems and we're going to lay it right across the top, holding it kind of with our thumbs, and then we're just going to grab the 2 ends from the back side and we're going to give that a good twist. 3 or 4 times around, giving it a twist. Just so it's nice and secure there. And that's all there is to making those. And you can see the edges of our ribbon there. Now that we have singed the end of it, you can tell it's not fraying whatsoever anymore. Now don't try that with your deco mesh, because even though your deco mesh does fray, that's plastic and you will melt it. Now we're just pulling out any pieces that are really long that are coming unfrayed, are coming undone there on our deco mesh, and we're just going to go ahead and roll that again. While holding one, we're just going to gently roll the other one. Again, holding them together in one hand, putting our ribbon right on top and pinching it right in the middle, grabbing our chenille stem, putting it on top, and then from the underside going ahead and grabbing both ends and then giving it a good tight twist. Now I know a lot of people prefer to put their ribbon on afterwards and prefer to just twist the deco mesh together and then add the ribbon afterwards. I don't particularly care to do multiple steps if I don't have to. It's quicker and easier to just do it all in one step, since I knew the look I was going to go for. But you can do it however you prefer. If you don't feel comfortable or like doing it this way, you can certainly do it the other way. And again, we're just pulling that deco mesh out, and now we're going to roll it. And the only place that I'm really holding that deco mesh is right in the very center, and then putting the 2 pieces together. And now we'll grab one of our white ribbons here and put it right on top. And we're just pinching it together right there, grabbing one of our white chenille stems, wrapping it around, and then grabbing the 2 bottom ends and giving it a good twist, just to hold it nice and tight. And you don't have to worry about fluffing them or anything really at this point. We're going to do all that once we get our wreath made. And this just kind of gives you an idea about how we'll be putting them together there. And now we're just going to go and grab some more and continue with what we are doing there. Again, the only place I'm rolling is really right in the center. The ends will roll themselves. Keeping it nice and tight in the center, that just kind of helps it so it doesn't fray. Again, putting the 2 together, grabbing our ribbon, and then putting our chenille stem across the top, and tying it to the bottom. Twisting it nice and tight. And now that you have that, I showed you on a few of them here, we're just going to jump ahead to actually having all of those already made up then. I'll just set that aside here, and now we have these great big piles of all of our ribbons already made up. into our bunches, and I'm going to just go ahead and start right here at the top, in the top center. And what we want to do is just around the 2 top rungs, we're going to go ahead and pull our chenille stems from the back and grabbing a hold of each one and giving it a twist. And then once it's all twisted, just kind of tucking it down and under just like that. I'll go ahead and show you another one here. And we're going to alternate every other one between our red ribbon and our white ribbon with the hearts on it. Now you can see right there in the center, I'm grabbing each one of the ends of our pipe cleaner there. We're giving it a quick twist around each other. And then once we get it nice and twisted tight, we're just going to go ahead, pull the 2 pieces together and tuck it down. Now at that very top portion there, that top center portion, I end up putting 4 ribbons, 2 on each side of that exact center point that comes down. And now we're going to do this other side of the top center. And again, you can see that right around those top 2 rungs. And you can see this rung and this rung, these are the top 2. Those are the 2 I'm putting the pipe cleaner around. 1 on each side of those rungs, and I'm pulling them nice and tight. Pull it up and then give it a good tight twist. And then once you have it all twisted, then just go ahead and fold those ends down. Just like that. Now we're going to add our 4th one in up there. And you just want to continue to do this all the way around your wreath frame. And the wreath frame, I don't know if I mentioned this, but the wreath frame is also from Dollar Tree. And I think it's just a perfect size for a wreath. I didn't want this wreath to be too big, being that it was a Valentine's Day. I don't like to overly decorate for Valentine's. I like to just have enough to let you know that it's the holiday, and a little bit here and there spread out throughout my house, but it's not like I decorate for Christmas, for Valentine's. I'm not decorating everything, but I want everybody to definitely realize that I am celebrating this season. Now you can see we've added quite a bit more here. And we're just going to continue to work our way around. And I'm always keeping, well, as I'm doing them like this, they might kind of get scrunched up together, but as we get more and more on, I'm keeping the space about an inch apart for the pipe cleaners around the back. So if you're finding man, you have a great big clump of them in one area, just go ahead and pull those down and spread them out until they're about an inch apart. That's what I'm doing all the way around. Now you can see that we have quite a bit more of it done here. I'm not going to make you watch me go ahead and tie each one of these on. I'm doing a little bit on this side, a little bit on the other side. And then I just continue to keep filling in more and more. And again, I'm just tucking that pipe cleaner down in there from both sides. I kind of hold it from the front side, and then I flip that wreath over and tie it from the back side. And you can see that Your pipe cleaners don't have to be red and white. I can use the pink, and even though I'm not using any pink on the wreath, it doesn't matter because your pipe cleaners really aren't showing up at all. Especially by the end when everything gets nice and fluffed, you're not even going to notice what color pipe cleaners you have there. So I actually used a light pink, a dark pink, along with the red and the white that you saw. Now we're just, you can see I'm kind of sliding these around on our outer rim there because I want them to stay just like that, about an inch apart from each other. That gives us a nice full wreath without it being too crowded. And right around this bend at the top, your spacing gets a little bit further apart, so it's a little bit harder to slide those ones back and forth than what it is on everywhere else on your wreath, but it's still perfectly doable. It just gets a little bit harder right when you're going around that top bend part of the top portion of your heart. And once you move them to where you want them to be, you don't have to worry about them like moving back again or sliding down because there's so much in our wreath holding it that they're not going to go anywhere. They'll stay right where you put them. And you can see how they're all about an inch apart from each other. And that will give us our nice full look on the front side. Now, once we have all of our ribbons on and all of our meshes on there, we're just going to go back through, and anywhere that there's really long threads hanging out from that deco mesh, I just go ahead and cut those off. I'm not trying to get every single thread. I'm just trying to get the ones that are extra long, that are really standing out and are very noticeable. Now, once we have all that done, now this is really the most important part of our wreath. It's fluffing these ribbons. What I like to do is I like to get right down in there, right where the ribbon is tied in the center, and I like to grab it right there at both sides and fluff that up. That does a couple different things. One, it helps to just make sure that that pipe cleaner right there that's holding the ribbon on is hidden because you're fluffing that all up from both sides. And it's also making your wreath look very full, making sure all that's fluffed up and up over the top side of all the deco mesh. And this really is like your finishing touch to your wreath. I go all the way around it at least once and sometimes twice if it needs it. And now we're almost done here. Once this is perfectly fluffed, now I did buy hearts and I had some signs and everything that I could put in it. But once I got done, I really like the way it looks just like this. I just decided I didn't want too much busyness with it. I didn't really want it to look cutesy. I just really wanted it to look like a nice romantic wreath. So I didn't add all the extra stuff. If that's your thing, then by all means, go ahead, add a sign, add extra hearts or whatever you want into it. That's perfectly fine. Make it however it's going to fit your decor and your style best. Now, from the middle rung, I just take another one of our pipe cleaners and twist it around, and that's what I make a hook for, so that I can go ahead and hook it right on our wreath holder there. And now, by the time I got everything completely done, it was getting late at night. I got everybody in bed and I was done. I could finish up my video. And so if it's a little dark, I'm sorry, but I think it's absolutely beautiful. It looks so pretty. If you like this video, I'd really appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so you'll be notified the next time I upload a video. Thanks so much for watching.